Well, Scanner Washington LLC, Scatchet Head here, looking at the well number 3. JKA just pulled the pump. We're looking at the pitless adapter. There is inflow from the pitless. Heading down into take a look at the casing. It's been leaking for a while. Pretty good scale. Only quarter wall pipe.
Yeah. Hold it.
Is it walking off that pulley?
Yeah.
Maybe rotate it around the other side. That'll at least walk it back on. We might have to switch it coming out though. I can snatch block it off that clevis on the rig, line it up a little better. Yeah, I got a snatch block I could put on there. There's a lot of water coming out of that pitless.
Yeah, they said there was no water coming out of it when they pulled the pump, so my guess is it's all the water coming back from the well getting full.
Possibly. Pretty good scale.
Oh yeah. Pretty good scale for being above the water. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Any idea as how old this thing is?
No.
No, it's. You start seeing big, chunky, flaky scale.
Yeah, 70s.
Yeah. Worry.
Yeah.
How about the little 3/4 inch pipe?
But I can see the sheets like this.
Yeah. I'm gonna end up drilling that stuff out all day.
3.5. Have room to pinch it, and then you have a nice area to weld it. Yeah.
I'll bet it's just full of scale.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, those are just big flakes wanting to drop off.
Yeah. Yeah, if it's too rigid, then it's not going to do. Yeah. We had that one time where it was too rigid, and the weight when we go like this and we bounce it. As soon as we made it less rigid and we like split those, they would just come straight down. So that keep that in mind.
Yeah, we're definitely in water, but it's dropping. A lot of scale. For being this far above water, that's a lot of scale.
That goes on a 4-inch, huh? So I need a 2x4?
Yeah, or we have to weld it to a plate and weld it to a 4-inch coupling. I think we've got another 2x4 there. I bought extras the last time we built a brush.
So, I thought we had one in actually in Tacoma sitting there.
I hope it's not still sitting there.
No, I picked all that stuff up. I just don't remember.
chunky.
Mm-hmm. No barnacles.
No. Or above water, there shouldn't be. Those don't happen until we're below water. We got 100 feet to get to that.
Yeah, yeah. That is a lot of
That's pretty
scale
chunky.
for no water being there.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, well 3, this neighborhood's been here a long time, but
Yeah.
If this is well 3, I don't think 70s is outside the realm of.
Yeah. It's only quarter well pipe too. Or at least there's less than that left at the surface.
Right.
Because that's thin wall pipe. Get a little more weight on the line, it'll pull it back towards the center of that shiv a little better. Yeah, I haven't seen a weld at all because the scale's so thick. We're already starting to get turbid too.
Mm-hmm.
Perfs were down 240-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like
230 something.
234 to 237 or 240.
Yeah.
They weren't. There's only 5 feet of them.
Yeah, not a lot. Man, look at this. We're still well above the static.
It's going to take a while to brush all this out.
I just wonder how much pipe's left when you're done.
Right.
4-to-1 to 8-to-1 are the ratios I recall as far as thickness of scale versus thickness of steel, though. So hard to believe that quarter inch of pipe can make an inch of scale, but it can.
Really?
Yeah. And that's on the 4-to-1 side. Some numbers are as high as 12-to-1. I don't know that I buy that. But
Well, what's the withdrawal rate when it's making scale like that, right? How much sidewall do you lose when you're? Yeah.
yeah, if you make 3/8 of an inch of scale, you might lose a 1/16 of an inch of pipe.
Yeah.
So I mean that's the ratio.
Yeah. Okay, so the 4-to-1, 8-to-1 is not only depth but penetration.
How's the swimming yard?
There's a lot of scales. Do you know there's a pitless adapter in that well?
So this is what the side of the pipe looks like right here.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's
About this thing.
pretty chunky.
But that's above the water level.
Yeah, we're still 30 feet above where the static was, and we've got heavy platy scale. So, and it wasn't thick pipe to begin with.
Crazy.
Yeah, so there's an old pitless adapter at like 2 feet into that concrete. And water was flowing back to the well. I mean, obviously we'd filled the well up, taken it, so we filled that pipe. But it's like I don't know where that pipe goes. Yeah, and it's a dead line. Does it get water in a rain spell? It looks like there's been water flowing down there.
Yeah, there's been water flowing out of that.
Yeah. Wow. So there's definitely a problem there.
Yeah, that's a very big problem.
Yeah.
Now we're starting to see some chunks. And this is still, we should be near the seasonal high water right now. So if you guys saw it at 180, we're still 20 feet.
Saw it 190.
190, okay. So
Almost 2 weather.
clipping my microphone until those guys stop throwing stuff.
Turn sensitivity down.
No.
Yeah, at least
Windows is so helpful with the audio settings.
Yeah.
If I could get it to connect to everything and work the way it should, I would run Ubuntu. I'm just not quite there with the connectivity yet. But the audio
It's probably
settings
Linux and Unix is like it works great if you know a bunch of
Yep,
you got a bunch of programming background. But
I
when you
know.
just dabble in that stuff, it's a freaking nightmare.
it is. Oh, it's all right. There's gonna be bumps and thumps in the video recording. It'll be okay.
I have a client that had a environmental science business. I don't know what the name of it was. A guy named John Brasino, and he was nationwide at the end there.
She knew us for a while.
And when he retired, but he said he switched everything to Apple one year.
Mm-hmm.
And everything just worked after that point. It saved him 180 grand a year in IT costs.
I could see that.
And then he YOLO'd all that money into all his retirement funds into Apple at $28 a share.
He won.
Got really, really lucky.
He won. And now we're starting to see even more texture. And interestingly, it just kind of calmed right out there. Look at that. Look at that. It's exactly what I see on the late 70s well pipe. It looks better below water than it does above water.
Mm-hmm. Is that one that you're lining in? They're lining in Lakewood or
Lake Haven, both of them are
Late 70s,
late
but-
70s,
Yeah.
78, 79. Yeah, see, it's all smoothed out, much less scale.
You ship in some oil filled tubing, some 7-inch pipe. Line the thing.
Might have to.
I forget. What's the plan on rehabilitation? Is it supposed to
Well, I mean, there's no screen, so we're just going to wire brush the column and get all that scale knocked down, and then clean the bottom out, and then try to surge block the perforations, just get water moving in and out of it, and finally to see if we can open the porosity back up. I've got a new tool coming in from Wisconsin. Hopefully this week, I can try using that.
what's that do?
It's called an air burst system, and it goes down. It's got like up to a 3,000 psi compressor, and it just drops high pressure bubbles out of the tool on like every 5 to 10 seconds. The bubbles are such high pressure that they go out and then they collapse, and that collapse is actually more of a surge in than out. So it's kind of a
I'm gonna have to hang the.
surge. Walk off.
I'm gonna have to tie a lock off. Walking up the side.
So I mean, but one of the worries with this late 70s pipe in the project he's got going on down at Lake Haven is he's a hydrogeologist. And one he's doing at Lake Haven, maybe that one works.
I was curious. How's the casing holding? Is that one of the concerns?
Well,
The
that's
casing stewing here. If it's kind of pulled together. Or,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. You know, it's Hey, are you worried about your paint on that door there?
I got a plan, man.
Okay.
Look over there. I got a zip tie. That'll hold. That's pulling that over too far, though. Yeah.
I mean, a stick would probably.
It won't take much,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah, I got this too. This will work. Let it go. Dave. Oh, it's called get it done.
Yeah, I like it.
It's not called rigging.
That's how I do.
We'll undo that when you come out of the hole, because coming out of the hole it self-centers. All right, now we got the shiv lined up a little bit better. It should stay centered. Minor tubercles at 215.
Yeah, this one here, this one wasn't supposed to slam down like that.
That looks like a weld.
That's wild that David said.
No, basically that's
That was a weld at 230.
This one definitely.
Here's your perfs, Pierce.
What? Sorry?
There's your perfs.
That's a perforation?
Well, when I look down, I see them. Might not be in them yet. It's a star.
Yeah.
Looks like a star perf where they just
Oh,
zipped
yeah.
it. Oh, drop down a little
Well, I
bit
mean,
lower.
Holt wasn't building those star perps back in the 70s, was he?
They're in a straight line.
Yeah, no, I know you're right.
I mean, it sure looks like a star perforator.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one right there, and it is not good.
No.
Like,
I'd say
not
that's
good at all.
also known as plugged.
I
It's like the
mean,
outside of my reservoirs.
the double perfed,
Oh, interesting.
the double hit, and it's still not good. It's like it was dull and not cutting through.
Which is standard for a whole perforator.
Yeah. But so they started about 231. Look at the tubercles.
Nice. This rig may end up being here for a minute or two.
Yeah. Spin around and see what the other ones look like. Ooh.
Somebody go down there with some spray foam? I mean,
What have we got going on there? It's coming through a perf.
wow. Can you go up and look down at that? I mean, what is that? Is that one of those two? It's got some body to it.
Look at that. That's like 4 hits there.
Yeah. Maybe they went back and reperforated it. Oh yeah.
I think they're just tubercles.
Yeah.
Hello.
This is his carpool dummy.
That's a good plan. I like it.
Got me here quicker.
Yeah, I bet.
But yeah, how many shots did we take there? There's at least 3, maybe 4.
Yeah.
And none of them went through.
Or they're all plugged.
Or they're all completely plugged.
But I mean, quarter wall.
It bends.
Yeah. I mean, getting it to perforate past that, even that third perforation run.
Yeah, see, that one's perfed.
Yeah.
And woo, hello. There's our big tubercle hanging out.
Yeah.
That's not cut. That's not cut. That one may be a little bit open, but I mean, the rest of these are just dents. That one's a little bit open. Maybe there's a rock out there.
So you'd obviously expect
That one's open.
and
Yeah, well, yeah,
some
you
other
could-
material.
Yeah, maybe some gravel on the other side or something. The problem with, I mean, the especially the star perforators, they're this big and essentially it looks like a paper perforator, right? And it's got these blades like that. And it just, as you're pulling back or pushing down, it pushes the casing out. Well, the casing deforms.
So it
And
spins
it's like
out,
you get
maybe.
2 passes, 3 passes, and after you're lucky to get that third pass to have every one of them actually cut.
Yeah.
And you can see the dents in the pipe. But
Yeah.
there's a few that are open.
Yeah. And they're that tall, about that wide, so they really just kind of push the casing out, and then it splits. Yeah, it doesn't.
That's a big tubercle. But that one there's open.
Yeah. So the other way of doing it is a mill's knife, and then you've got a blade that's, like this, and it will go out. You'll get 1/2 inch by 3 inch cut, and it will go through the casing.
These are through. And there's huge tubercles growing on the bottom of each perf.
Yeah, I mean, where you're getting those, the tubercles, that's where you're going to get.
Hey, look!
Hey, the bottom.
You're full. Like 236,
Yeah.
and that's scale.
Yeah.
Clunk. We're sitting on scale at 236.
A lot of scale.
We are still very much in the perforated zone.
Are we?
Maybe not.
I don't think there's more than
No.
4 feet of perforations.
I don't see any more perfs. Okay, so we're not in the perforated zone. Let's go up and find the perfs. But yeah, bottom filled at 236.
It's kind of fun to see. I've done most of my, our divers have come and cleaned out reservoirs and that kind of thing. I've, watched a lot of this stuff, so I haven't actually seen a well inspection like this. It's kinda cool.
I'm gonna go pull that shiv off so it self-centers.
Do you guys, as well as video normally, is that, you normally have this done when you're going to the real stuff?
Yeah, if it were, and even residential, if we're going to do a rehab now, I don't bring him in, I run my own camera gear for residential stuff, just because there's just not budget for it. But yeah, it's kind of a CYA. You're going to go in there and get a little wild. not that common.
That makes sense now. After I watched, the casing get pulled on those ones, that's what I learned very early on. Like stuff that goes in under the ground that's never looked at. A lot of things happen. As far as contractors, oh yeah, I did this. And
then you get in there and you find out. Yeah. Yeah, or it isn't just is not what they describe.
I'd say the bottom of the perfs is about 235, Pierce.
So about 4 feet, 231, 235.
Yeah.
Not much intake zone there.
No, there might be more buried though, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean
Because there's more talked about on the log down deeper.
No.
Oh, is it just the 30s?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
let me grab that.
It says 234 bottom perforation. 231 top.
well, I'm seeing what looks like an attempted perforations at 235, and I'm not going to quibble over a foot because I know how accurate my counter is.
Yeah. It says 246 is
246 is bottom of the hole.
bottom is complete as well.
Okay, so you've got at least 10 feet of material in the bottom of the well. It's mostly scale. And the perfs that are here are largely plugged. And big giant tubercle there. 31 to 36?
You got 31 to 34.
Okay, well, I'm 34 and a half and still looking at them. So, yeah, I'd say 30 to 35 is where I'd concentrate.
Yeah.
The tools will tighten up.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but I mean, that definitely, we're looking at one there, and I've got this giant tubercle, which is indicative of a perf that's completely healed there, another one that's healed there.
And the interesting thing is, I don't know where they got this data, right? I don't have an actual well report that shows.
Yeah.
So
The perfs I'm looking at are largely healed with these giant tubercles.
Yeah.
I mean, look at these things.
Monsters.
They're huge. And they're completely grown over. There's a perf in there.
Yeah.
Those are likely the ones that were making water at one time.
Right.
That one's good. But if we look down, the down look, you can just see the lumps, and you can see the row of dimples that are
Not
almost a
making it.
perf.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously some of it was still open. It was still making some water, but those are the dents. That's not open. So,
Yeah, the other problem with lining this is because we don't have a log, we don't know if there's a surface seal. We get into construction activities now. We got to bring all of the construction up to code, and that can be a challenge.
Yeah, I don't know if this like Brad's office or engineer down here that used to do a lot. I'm guessing where they got this information from. Yeah, I would assume some, because the water district has very minimal. When I've tried to ask questions about things like, well, here's a map from 1990, and 50% of the valves are in the same spot. Others aren't. But I know George Brad must have been engineering. That's what he got information from. I don't know.
Yeah.
so you need to see anything else? Or do you want me to just haul it out?
No, I think that pretty much tells me.
Yeah, you got a lot of scale above water, and it's got that very characteristic 1970s casing where above water it's all rusty and chunky, and below water it looks beautiful, which somebody didn't use the right recipe on the metallurgy, but
then you also said you think the water is coming
which doesn't help the corrosion at all.
Yeah.
I can show you that inflow. Once we get above water, I'll show you the inflow. I mean, there's clearly water running down the side of the well right now.
Yeah, then the question is whether or not that is all the time or just during surface water events or just because we filled the well full of water. It's only 3 feet, 3 feet, right? So it's
There's a lot more than that because they tried 4 or 5 times in some areas. I mean, how many took is the question.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, a star perforator will do about 3 to 4 perforations.
about 4 per foot is what I recall.
And if they did 5 passes for 3 feet, that'd be 15 times 4, it'd be 40 or 60 in theory, but we know that they didn't.
Okay, so now we're above water, but the water's been dropping because we're still, and my camera's still draining, and that's most of this water. But as we look through the side look, there'll still be water just running down the well. My camera's unwinding. Right there, we got water flowing down the pipe. I'm gonna go up and look at that pitless again and see if we got water still coming out the pitless.
Yeah, because that would indicate that line's got some length to it.
Well, there's a check valve I can see in the line. I was looking right up the line. I could see a check valve.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No water moving in there.
Pretty clear we still got water running out. And there's your pitless. And that's a check valve.
Yeah. I'd say the check valve's not working.
I'm thinking it leaks.
Yeah. So that's definitely a problem.
Yep. Hopefully the line's connected to something potable.
Yeah. You think?
You know, water's coming from somewhere.
Yeah.
And it's not slowing down. When I look down, you can see it running down the pipe there.
Yeah.
The drips are still coming off the camera. But let's see here. Let's lower that down just a touch. That's been running for a while.
Yeah.
So that's an abandoned connection that's still
Live.
doing.
Yeah, there's something going on there that shouldn't be. I mean, you can see the buildup of corrosion there. Look in the down look, and it's over here now, which of course I've got a blur on the lens. So just a minute. See if I can get it up into this quadrant here.
Need a wiper.
Yeah, right. So let's see if we can sneak up just a bit. Got a couple more feet I can play with. There you got a very nice view of water flowing right out of your pitless.
Yeah.
So, well, that'll do it. I'm going to call it here. This concludes the inspection of Scatchet Head well number 3, following pump removal before clean out and redevelopment.